Welcome to Roger TV's broadcast of the Peters Brothers Paving Grand Parade. We're here at Penticton's 78th Annual Peach Festival. I'm your host, I'm Alan G. from the radio station here in Penticton, Go 97.1. It is our 78th Annual Peach Festival. You know, we have, I think, close to 74 entries. I thought maybe if we had 78 for 78, maybe next year we get 79 for 79. And we have entries from all over the place. And before we kind of get the parade officially started, we do have some of the emergency services that are going to make their way along Winnipeg Street. And we're set up at the corner of Winnipeg and Lakeshore. And actually, just to the left of me, it's the iconic Penticton Peach, where we have emergency services that will launch the way as we gear up for the RCMP to make their way off of Winnipeg and on to Lakeshore for this big event, which is pretty much known as the biggest free festival in North America. That is the 5 days of the Penticton Peach Festival. So again, our Peters Brothers Paving Grand Parade, it is underway. So enjoy our coverage here on Rogers TV. When it comes to this parade, mention this is part of one of the biggest North American free festival, but the parade is certainly one of the highlights. The parade itself is known as the largest in the interior of British Columbia. And, you know, we have fans from all over the place. The crowds line up sometimes as early as maybe 2.5 hours before the start of the parade, which begins along Main Street, then sort of cuts across to get here on Winnipeg Street, and then makes its way down Lakeshore. And between Patio Burger along Lakeshore and the SS Sycamoose, which is another icon, we have for the first time something called the Splash Zone, which I'll talk a bit about that. This will be something fun, certainly for the kids and those involved. But like I say, the RCMP are kicking things off as they make their way through to the parade. We have Superintendent Beth McCandy who's with us today, other members of the RCMP as well. Let's give them a wave as they make their way along Lakeshore now. Of course, they do such a great job in terms of Peach Festival. Year-round, they do a great job in our community, but certainly gets pretty busy with this event. So their presence is, you pretty much see the RCMP all over the place to make sure everyone is safe when it comes to this huge event. So members of the RCMP, as mentioned, and Superintendent Beth McCanty got the rescue boat that they're towing along as well. Looks like they got a few kids on there that are waving. So big part of our community, but of course Peach Festival, which is basically our city's premier event each and every year. How you guys doing?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Good to see you. Now, of course, with the RCMP, we also have Penticton Bylaw. And you think, okay, Bylaw, they give out tickets. No, it goes well beyond that, of course. They do their part to keep our neighborhood clean, quiet and safe. They deal with everything from noise complaints to supporting public safety in our parks and streets. We also have, in between, of course, community policing, citizens on patrol. That's another great aspect of keeping our community safe year-round, not just during the busy summertime in this event. So community policing, citizens on patrol. As mentioned, Penticton Bylaw, they're making their way now off of Winnipeg Street here onto Lakeshore. So emergency services, always kind of traditionally, that kind of kick things off when it comes to any parade before we kind of officially get into it. And of course, if we're talking emergency services, hometown heroes, the Penticton Fire Departments, of course. They don't just respond to emergencies, again, keeping you safe. Also, they want to make sure that you're preventing anything happening at your home. So as we say that, remember, check those smoke detectors, sign up online for the firesmartbc.ca free FireSmart home assessment. And the little tip they always give me, too, when it comes to changing your fire alarm, smoke detectors, whenever we do the time change, that's the ideal time to do so. When you change your clocks, that's when you should also be changing those smoke detectors, changing the batteries. And again, the fire department, they're giving us a wave as well. One of the big trucks is here. And we also have one, too, that I'm not going to say it's not in service. And it may be in service, you know, if we have like a real huge emergency. I think it can still operate, but it's a classic with the Penticton No. 5 Fire Department. You can hear that siren. I think that's another sign. You can tell that is like a pretty vintage fire engine. That long drawn-out siren. Owned and operated by the International Association of Firefighters, Local 1399, again part of the Penticton No. 5 Fire Department as well. Army, Navy, and Air Force veterans, a big part, of course, of Peach Festival. Always a part of it as well as they join us too. We also have the Honor Guard, and that's the way we kick things off usually after we get through the emergency services. And this group is from the Vernon Cadet Training Center. They've made their way down to Penticton to provide us with a flag party and the Honor Guard for the parade. And of course, we thank them for their service and also for being a part of our big event here in Penticton. So probably less than a 2-hour drive to come this morning from Vernon down to Penticton to be a part of Peach Festival. Of course, we also have Canada Border Services, the Border Services Agency, CBSA. They facilitate the flow of legitimate travelers and trade. They also enforce more than 100 acts and regulations that keep our country and Canadians safe. So Canadian Border Services, big part of our parade as well. Also rounding the corner right now, it looks like we have our MP, newly elected MP for Penticton. That is Helena Conans, working hard each and every day, representing, of course, you in Ottawa, fighting for a stronger, safer, and more prosperous community. And Helena, before becoming our MP, she actually was in City Council quite a long time. Got her start in 2011, was a part of Penticton City Council through to 2019, was off for a year, and then 2020 right through to 2025. So earlier this year, she had to give up that council spot as she was the newly elected MP for Penticton. So that is Helena Conans. She's making her way, as mentioned, just off Winnipeg onto Lakeshore. What a great spot we have, of course, to broadcast for the parade. Sitting along Lakeshore and beautiful Okanagan Lake, of course, behind me in the background. I mentioned earlier, too, the Peach on the left as we continue with our broadcast here on Rogers TV. So Helena Conan's making her way now on to Lakeshore. Hi, Elena. I'm well. How are you? Hi, guys. Good to see you. What's that? I do. I could be fibbing, but I might. She asked me if I have my sunscreen. I'm in the shade. I'm in a good spot right now, but yeah. Got to be safe on a hot day like today, and after kind of a stormy start to Peach Fest, which we normally don't have, the sun is back. So we went from seeing Helena Conans, that is, to our newly elected MLA for Penticton. That is Amelia Boltby, who's driving by as well, supporting local businesses, protecting, of course, the beauty of our area, lakes, orchards, vineyards. So she represents Penticton in Victoria, and a fourth-generation Pentictonite as well. And got on to City Council only a few years ago, actually, in 2022, and at the time she had the most votes as well. We also have, of course, a Penticton City Council. I think we have our Mayor Julius Bloomfield in there. One of the councilmen, Isaac Gilbert, is there. Actually, it's our mayor who's driving the vehicle as well. So we have a mayor, council, also city manager walking behind, Anthony Haddad. Does Anthony have candy? He does, but he's ignoring me, so I don't think I'm getting any candy. That is from Anthony Haddad, our city manager. So mayor and council making their way through as we continue with our parade. I think we have, you guys, the Glengarry Skate Club? There you go, we do, yeah. The Glengarry Skate Club. They've been around in Penticton since 1953. They operate as a non-profit, sanctioned Skate Canada Club as well. And the program's really for anyone of all ages, but usually they focus on kids who get skating as early as 3 and up to age 17 as well. So we've seen some of the skaters go by. They've got a pretty cool float they're carrying along as well. They should have someone in there. That looks pretty comfortable. That'd be a place to be when it comes to being in the Peach Festival Parade. Salvation Army Food Bank. They've been in Penticton for over 104 years, operating the main food bank. We have a couple thrift stores in our city. They also take part in emergency disaster services, and all the funds that are raised locally stay in our community to help people in our local community as well. So always important to recognize Salvation Army and the food bank. And so one of those things too, it probably exists in every community that, you know, it used to be you'd think about the food bank and maybe replenishing it come Christmas time, but in this day and age, their work is needed each and every day, 365 days of the year. So we have them on board, the Salvation Army. Their emergency disaster services van just in front of our spot right now here on Lake Shores. Again, we continue with our Peach Festival Grand Parade, presented by Peters Brothers and, of course, broadcast on Rogers TV. One of the other vans is also featuring the Community Foundation of the South Okanagan. And again, they are a big part of what goes on here in Penticton. So they're riding along with the Salvation Army as well here on this beautiful Saturday morning for Peach Festival. Oh, they're handing out the candy as well. Yeah, I'm going to just see. I'll give it back to the kids. I want to see how much I can accumulate. So we have here, there you go, a little Tootsie Roll. Thank you very much from the Salvation Army. And then remember, it used to be you could actually like kind of toss the candy, but still, candy for the kids, a big part of it. But now they just go around and hand it out, which is easy for me just to put my hand out and get some of the treats that we'll see throughout Peach Festival and the parade. How you guys doing? Look at Sally. She's just spinning around the chair. She's pretty active in that Community Foundation of the South Okanagan Similkameen van. Valley First is a division of First West Credit Union. They operate across the province and, of course, huge presence, too, in communities, well, like Penticton, Kelowna, Vernon, and right through the Okanagan. They offer all sorts of financial services, including personal and business banking, wealth management, and insurance as well. And certainly here in Penticton, one of the cool things that Valley First does, and actually we're seeing a few people that are representing Valley First, they have T-shirts on that say Feed the Valley. So it's kind of appropriate that they follow the Salvation Army Food Bank, because they do a program, I think once or twice a year, maybe a couple times a year, where they'll set up at grocery stores in our community, and they do encourage people to bring along their non-perishable food donations. You can buy those donations right at the grocery store. And again, it goes back to the food bank. So Feed the Valley with Valley First. Good to see you guys. And a strong contingent as well to be here today with Valley First in Penticton. Good morning. Hi, guys. Now, a big part of any parade, and they've been here for like decades. I've been here since like the mid-'80s, and the Shriners are always a part of a parade, and certainly that's no different here in Penticton. Kelowna Shriners, they're dedicated to improving the lives of kids. They provide specialty pediatric care and treatment of burns. Children up to the age of 18 with burns, spinal cord injuries, cleft lip, palate, they all receive free care, and that is courtesy of the Kelowna Shriners. Of course, we have the Kelowna Shriner Clowns are a big part of it. And then this is always popular as well as they go by in their little vehicles. But the Shriners, like I say, for as long as I can remember being at the parade here in Penticton, and not only the Kelowna Shriners, sometimes we've had Shriners make their way down from the coast, but a big part of Peach Festival. And tons of fun as well. You can hear the music that they're playing in the background as well. I think we have, like, what do you have in the cooler? I don't think you can hear me, but he's literally riding a cooler, one of these Shriners. I think he's got Gatorade. I wonder if there's anything else in there. We'll see if we can find out. What do you got in the cooler? What's in the cooler? We'll see if you can hear me. Do you know what's in the cooler? The cooler. I'm trying, but I don't think they can hear me with the music going. But no, he's literally riding a cooler, so I'm just kind of curious what was in there. More Valley First, they've been giving out candy, so they're making their way back to where they are. But again, the Kelowna Shriners joining us right now. And again, our vantage point, pretty good when it comes to the parade. A Lakeshore, like I say, people start lining up a couple hours before the parade because it's a great place to be, right? You got the lake in the background, right along Lakeshore. It's kind of the final part of the parade before it makes its way towards the end. Right before the Sycamores, they have something called the Splash Zone. They're trying it out. So I think maybe if you're old like me, you remember when back in the day, there'd be water guns be all over the place, part of parades. Well, they kind of brought it back in the Splash Zone. It's another part of the town, right at the end. But basically, if you see someone on a float or going by in part of the parade and they have a water gun, it's game on. So that section of the parade, you're allowed to fire back and have some fun with water. So the Shriners here, as we wait a little bit when it comes to the parade, always going to be a little bit of a gap and a lull. But it is a beautiful Saturday as we had some pretty interesting weather to start things off. It never ever rains or is usually below 30 ever when it comes to Peach Fest, but had a couple of cooler days. But back to sunshine, should be around 30s, it looks like, for the rest of this weekend in the Peach City. Try and see if we can find out. Oh, the music's back on. I was really curious if there's anything beyond Gatorade in that cooler. Well, it's probably a little engine, right? Something's got to power that cooler with the Shriners. Always nice to see them as a part of our parade. So from riding coolers to riding lawnmowers, that's what we have next, and that's powering the rest of the crew behind some of the Kelowna Shriners. Like I say, always giving back to kids, Shriners hospitals for children, of course throughout the province as well when it comes to British Columbia and to Yukon as well. So you're going to see that van make its way from Winnipeg onto Lakeshore. But of course the kids love seeing them drive by. Got their cool Shriner hats on as well, with the horn. So here's, of course, the van I was talking about. Shriners Hospitals for Children. bcshriners.com if you want to learn more about the great work that they do through the province of British Columbia. It looks like, oh, that's Cycling Without Age. Nice to see them a part of the parade as well. That's the way to sort of get a bike ride too, right? Cycling Without Age, international movement, actually started in Denmark. The mission to reduce social isolation and create community connections. And in Penticton, we've got a great group as well. 8 actually of Penticton's care facilities get a chance to be involved with Cycling with Age. So for seniors that normally can't get out, maybe into the community, I guess it's kind of like one of those rickshaw bikes. So someone volunteers to drive a couple of seniors and they get a chance to get out and enjoy a day like today with the sunshine. So Cycling Without Age, pretty prominent here in Penticton. Also making their way now from Winnipeg Street on to Lakeshore, Springer's Gymnastics. They offer structured classes for kids up to 15 years. They actually start at just over a year, 16 months. So the gymnastics truly is geared for beginners. You can see the great work they're doing, and I think there's some as young as 4 and 5. Doing a great job as well. So, and then like I say, the ages range from that young up to 15 years old. They also get involved with the birthday parties. They have competitive teams. They have a summer camp as well. Springer's Gymnastics are in Penticton, and you can check them out at the Cannery Trade Center. So I will give you a chance to listen to the pipe band coming up, but I'll give a bit of a description. They're the RCMP E Division pipe band. This one based in Vancouver, and actually they were formed almost 20 years ago in April of 2006. They're one of 8 RCMP pipe bands currently active in Canada. They're comprised of both police and civilian volunteers from BC coming together to showcase their musical talent. And the band was formed to support both Celtic music, but also the efforts of the RCMP in crime prevention and public awareness. So enjoy a bit of the RCMP E-Division Pipe Band here at the Peachfest Parade. We also have members of Motion LP making their way through to the parade as well. They customize mobility and home accessibility, they do provide customized mobility solutions for everyone in our community. Their mission to make life accessible for everyone. The solutions delivered professionally, consistently, and with integrity as well. The Royal Rosarians from Portland, the City of Roses, are here. Since 1912, they have served now as greeters and ambassadors of goodwill for the beautiful city of Portland. What a great float they have as well. Royal Rosarian Prime Minister Amy Arrowsmith and First Squire Jeff are riding this beautiful float today as well. So it's always nice to have communities, even from beyond the Okanagan and out of country, right? Washington State, but Oregon may be as far as it comes when we have those traveling to be part of a parade. So the Royal Rosarians a big part of it as well. Beyond Hot in their cool Hot Wheels van. I love it. Western Canada's largest hot sauce selection. And they just launched, this is pretty cool, it's called Peaches and V's. They actually came up with basically a hot sauce to honor our junior hockey team, the Penticton V's. We're transitioning from the BC Hockey League. And this fall, actually less than a month away, they'll begin preseason play in the Western Hockey League. So basically, they've only, I think, created 120 of these bottles of this hot sauce, which is described as peach pie in a bottle. I don't imagine they have any in their sort of Hot Wheels vehicle right now. I'm not really a hot sauce kind of guy, but they said it's kind of mildly hot, but peach pie in a sauce, would love to try that out. They are located, by the way, on Westminster Avenue West in Penticton. And you've probably seen the van before, because with the logo, it does look like a Hot Wheels car, like the Hot Wheels logo. But it's Beyond Hot and the Hot Wheels van. So make sure if you want to check out one of those Peaches and V's hot sauces, it's a limited edition. They'll be available very soon, but I think there's only like 120. So they're part of a parade today as well. And just rounding the corner, again, from Winnipeg Street onto Lakeshore, and that, again, just behind Beyond Hot, we do have Cherry Park Retirement, and they're an independent community for seniors. They offer meals, housekeeping, and maintenance services to our residents here in Penticton. So now they've got a decorated van as they make their way as well onto Lakeshore. Again, this is the Peach Festival Parade. It's a grand parade put on by Peters Brothers Paving, broadcast here on Rogers TV. I'm your host, Alan G. from the radio station, Go 97.1 here in Penticton, and you'll see one of our vehicles featured coming up a little later on as well. And this is the 78th edition of, again, the free festival known as Peach Fest. But again, another wonderful day for the parade. Amazing crowds, and like if you're seeing sort of the shots of the crowds, you know how packed it is here. But not just along Lakeshore. The parade does begin along Main Street, so some people line up there. Then it kind of crosses over, because here in Penticton, during the summer, we have a farmer's market and a downtown market as well. So it takes up the last 2 blocks of Main. They kind of cross over, come along to Winnipeg Street, and then make their way along Lakeshore. Like I said earlier, we have about 74 entries in the parade this year. And when things kind of wrap up, the way it works is that all the festivities and events get underway in Okanagan Lake Park, which is pretty much on the other side of where we're at, other side of the Penticton Lakeside Resort. And that's where all the free entertainment happens. So a lot of people make their way from the parade to the park. But again, we do have Cherry Park Retirement now making their way along Lakeshore. And then the description for this next one, when I read about the the 501st Legion. I actually thought it was the Legion. I had to read, but this was founded in 1997. It's not part of any of our Royal Canadian Legions. This is to unite customers, well, who have, I guess, kind of a love for Star Wars villains. This is an actual Legion, the 501st, founded in 1997. It is fun, but of course their goal is to bring good to communities through their volunteer and charity work as well. So, and they've been a part of Peachfest for, I think, close to a decade. But when you think of a hot day like today, if you're dressed up as a stormtrooper, right, you got to be cooking underneath that suit. But you're a stormtrooper, so you can't show anything. Like, you can't show that you're heated up. I think we have, well, of course, if you're going to have stormtroopers and you're talking about Star Wars villains, I believe Darth Vader's making his way onto Lakeshore as well. But again, they do such a great job. And when it comes to volunteering, they volunteer their time to raise funds. And their biggest cause is to help out BC's Children's Hospital. And as you can see, if you see some of the shots, are high-fiving the kids. And that's a highlight for them to see all these characters. I guess now they've been around in terms of Star Wars since, what was the first film? 1977. So Darth Vader, I hope he's not coming to me. Are you looking at me, Darth Vader? Just wave. Yeah, I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, I wasn't sure if he was... I don't see... Does he have a lightsaber? Oh, yeah, he pointed the camera. I mean, I hope they're doing okay over there. He just gave me a wave. I was lucky, but how cool is that? The Star Wars villains, the big part of our Peachfest parade. Also want to welcome Brutus Truck Bodies, custom truck bodybuilder here in Penticton. And again, another long-time business in our community, 44 years now. Brutus is a trusted name in creating heavy-duty custom steel and aluminum truck bodies for North America's rugged forestry, construction, mining, and oil field sectors as well. So Brutus Truck Bodies making their way onto Main Street. Looks like, or I should say Lakeshore. It looks like they do have a couple of trucks. It is, of course, Brutus Truck Bodies, so we got to see what kind of trucks they have as well. And again, I love, too, that pretty much most of the entries in the parade, if they're not afloat, I love how they take the time to decorate and get their vehicles all ready for a parade. So, again, welcome to Brutus as they make their way, again, from Winnipeg onto Lakeshore. When it comes to Peach Festival itself, of course, to have an event like this, the committee that puts it on, remember, they're all volunteer-based. They give up their time to put on this event. And basically, when this event wraps up on the Sunday of Peach Festival, it is a 5-day event. I think they take a week off, and then by the end of next week, they're already working on the 79th Peach Festival, coming up in August of 2026. So you'll always see the Peach Fest board members dressed up. They have director shirts on. And always good to acknowledge the great work that they do. Again, all volunteer to put on this free event, 5-day event in the city of Penticton. You might be able to hear a bit in the background. We have another sort of a musical group making their way in, and they came all the way from Seattle. The Seattle All-City Band, students from throughout Greater Seattle, each and every summer since 1951 to get together to form the Seattle All-City Band. Now we're going to see our new royalty here in Penticton with Miss Penticton. For the first time ever, they held the pageant in Okanagan Lake Park, and they had kind of an intermission, but one of the cool things about the intermission, well, they kind of had the judges tabulate who is going to be crowned Miss Penticton. The Seattle All-City Band performed for those in Okanagan Lake Park. So, again, the All-City Band is here, and we're going to have a chance to listen to them and watch, of course, their crew as well. So, from Seattle, Washington, nice to have them here across the border and be part of Peach Festival. All right, so here they come. Like you say, you can hear them in the background, so we'll have a little bit more of a listen again to the Seattle All-City Band. So someone not part of the parade route was taking some pictures, and I had to ask because I was trying to count. I thought maybe there's like 120. No, I'm way off. 200 involved. Oh, we also have, there's Peach Festival President Shauna Tinga and her daughter Dora, who of course is dressed as a peach. How cute is that? And you can see that little golf cart. It was actually, I think it was custom made for Peach Festival. And with everything happening when it comes to being along the lake, this is sort of the hub between Okanagan Lake Park, Gyro Park, but Shauna and her volunteers, they've been using that golf cart throughout the entire Peach Festival, get around. So that's our Prez and her daughter following the Seattle All-City Band. Like I said, I thought maybe there was 120, but 200 are part of the All-City Band as well as we continue with our Peach Festival Parade. Washington State and Leavenworth joining us now. So again, we talked about those that have made their way from not across just Canada or BC, but over the border to be part of it. Leavenworth, of course. We're so happy to have them be part of our festival as well. And that leads into also from over the border, the Spokane Lilac Festival. They're celebrating their 87th year. The Lilac Festival honors their military and does showcase the region, empowers their youth all year round. And I understand as well we've got a few award winners and Spokane Lilac Festival. So one of the awards they have is the best float for a city that's over 25,000. And Spokane, and you'll see why. Their float is amazing, but the Spokane Lilac Festival has won that award. And as the float makes its way onto Lakeshore, you can see the royalty having a good time dancing. It's their Queen Regan and Princesses Abby, Savannah, Bethany, Charlize, Paige, and Addie. So again, Spokane Lilac Festival. And that again follows Leavenworth, Washington, as they promote their Autumn Leaf Festival. And I kind of love it because it does give you that sort of autumn vibe. That festival, by the way, in Leavenworth, Washington, coming up at the end of September, 26th through the 28th. Actually, you know what? As I'm reading awards, I think they're award winner as well. I think they're doing the chicken dance, and of course that gets everybody in the crowd kind of involved. So again, from Washington State, again, we have Leavenworth, and now getting into the Spokane group as well here, promoting their Lilac Festival. And again, one of the big floats, and it's so cool, right, when you get entries that take the time out to do this great float. So again, and they've got a big royalty too, like Queen, was it? I think 6 princesses, so let's give them a wave. Hi, Spokane. Welcome. Just a beautiful float to promote their Lilac Festival. So Washington State in the house on Lakeshore, joining us for the Peach Festival Parade. Again, just a beautiful Saturday here in Penticton, British Columbia. The sun is shining, and mentioned how we had that rain early in the week in Penticton, but I do not recall a parade, I think ever, where we've not had blue skies on the Saturday morning, the 4th of the 5-day Peach Festival. Also have the Penticton Punjabi Sunday School. Some of the teachers, parents, and siblings, and they are representing, of course, the Punjabi Sikh community here in Penticton. Their presence celebrates the Punjabi language, Sikh heritage, and the spirit of unity and diversity as well. So nice to have them to be part of our parade as well. And it's so cool that we have so many local entries, but again, those from other parts of the Okanagan. And beyond that, moving to Washington State. But it's a big part of our community. Again, it's the Sunday School, Penticton Punjabi Sunday School. So they're part of the parade here on this beautiful Saturday in Penticton. We continue to broadcast live on Rogers TV. I'm Alan G. from Go 97.1 in Penticton as we continue on this beautiful Saturday with our parade. BMO in Penticton, part of the parade as well. The 8th largest bank in North America, providing personal and commercial banking, as well as investment services to 13 million customers. It's always great to have our local businesses showcased. Part of Peach Festival, and that includes BMO right now as they are on Lakeshore Drive as we continue with our Peach Fest parade and kind of the final stretch. This is basically the last turn as everyone in the parade will continue all along Lakeshore here in beautiful Penticton, and things wrap up essentially at the beautiful and iconic SS Sicamous at the other end of the lake. Now we're going to enjoy some music from the Summerland Pipes and Drum Band. And of course, locally, you want to have them in parade, they're there for you. You want to have them a private event, they'll do that too. Anything in the community, Summerland Pipes and Drums are part of it. And of course, it's no surprise that they are joining us here for the Penticton Peach Festival Parade. And that's a little 10-minute drive to beautiful Summerland, where, well, essentially that's where I grew up. So then I made the move to the big city here in Penticton. So Summerland Pipes and Drums are part of our parade today. We mentioned Summerland Pipes and Drums. Of course, Summerland has their own parade. Or they did. One of their big events. We have Peach Festival here. Summerland, the first weekend in June, has their Action Festival. Summerland Pipes and Drums, of course, mentioned what they do throughout the Okanagan, but certainly involved in all the community events in Summerland, BC as well. So I think they're going to start up another song, so we'll enjoy Summerland Pipes and Drums as they've made that turn now from Winnipeg on to Lakeshore. I think they're getting ready, but as you know, there are always little lulls in these parades as we have to allow other parts of the parade maybe to catch up. You know, pedestrians trying to cross the street as well, but I think they're gearing up as they start marching again. We'll probably likely hear some music from Summerland Pipes and Drums, and then we'll focus again locally on Barry and Smith and they're bringing along Many Hats Theater. We'll talk a bit about that. A great theater company. And here comes Summerland Pipes and Drums. And one of the drums too, you can actually, it's pretty cool, but they actually have the actual logo from Summerland, District of Summerland. Barry and Smith, a family-run business in our community since 1954. And they always do so much for our community as well, so nice to have them be part of our parade as well. From trucking, freight brokerage, various transit service, they offer a wide variety of services. Then following them, of course, we have Many Hats Theater Company, and they put on 5 productions a year, and they've been actually in our community doing this for 18 years as well, gearing up for the next production, and that is coming up. It's called Sinners. It is from Norm Foster, and that will debut September the 8th in the Cannery as well. So it's nice to see Many Hats Theater, and again, they've got a vintage vehicle from the Vintage Car Club of Canada. 1964 Chev Impala SS convertible is one of the vehicles that's a part of it, as they promote the great work that they do. And these plays are amazing. I mentioned Norm Foster. He's probably what Canada's, I guess, most renowned playwright, and they usually do a couple of them as well. Also joining them is Ivan. You can't miss him because he's the Cat in the Hat, because he's wearing the Cat in the Hat. So he's joining Many Hats Theater, following Barry Smith as well. So looking forward to their next production. Caramia's Rodeo Association and their rodeo queen for 2025. That is Sierra Poirier on her horse Texas, and her sister Ava is on the other pony, and that is named Emmy. So the Poirier family representing the Caramia's Rodeo Association, and pretty much the biggest rodeo in the South Okanagan, Similkameen, is the one that is put on in Caramias each and every May long weekend. There's a pineapple, but again, representing Many Hats Theater, handing out brochures to promote Sinners, their production. We also want to welcome, of course, Miss Kelowna, Lady of the Lake, celebrating 95 years in that community, in the beautiful city of Kelowna, giving young ladies a chance to become city ambassadors and represent the city and be a part of events just like this one. So joining us to be part of the parade, we have the Miss Kelowna Lady of the Lake, Sophia Patty, Princess Amelia Sturrock, and Lady in Waiting, that is Randa Deep Bassi, and they're all looking forward to a great year ahead because they're here in Penticton. But as you know, as you probably know, when it comes to royalty, they get a full year of getting a chance to travel through the province and elsewhere as well, representing communities. And we do have a lot of visiting royalty that were here last night in Penticton for our crowning of Miss Penticton. So joining us from Kelowna, Lady of the Lake, and as mentioned, it is 95 years of that great program in the city of Kelowna. And I like too that they decorated. They have a truck that they decorated, but on the hood of the truck, and this makes sense. You know, they're honoring being here in Penticton, the Peach City. They have a little basket of peaches on the truck with the royalty who are grooving to their music, representing Kelowna here at Peach Festival. And they've clearly put together a dance to be part of a Peach Festival. Dancing so well together on the truck, waving to everybody, be part of Peach Festival. So we welcome them from Kelowna. And of course, vice versa for their pageant when they have the Miss Lady of the Lake. That's usually when Miss Penticton and her princesses will make their way down to Kelowna to be part of that event as well. So we have, again, Amelia Sturrock and Ramandeep Bassi who are on that truck with the Lady of the Lake Again, Kelowna joining us today as well. Grizzly Excavating is here for over 20 years. They've been the go-to for many construction projects. Doesn't matter their size, small, large, unique. Also very involved in community projects as well. And of course, Grizzly always doing a big part to give back to the community of Penticton. And of course, this is their newest truck. It's a hydro excavator, and of course, a very safe and sort of up-to-date way of excavating. And again, they're always looking at innovating and safety. So check out their new truck. And again, glad to have Grizzly Excavating, a big part of Peach Festival, and of course, the community of Penticton as well. Oasis, the Okanagan and Similkameen Invasive Species Society, nonprofit dedicated to prevention, dedication, and management of invasive species here in the Okanagan Similkameen. They've actually been going since 1966, and you probably know their program, Don't Move a Muscle, and because of their efforts, essentially in our lakes, when it comes to the Okanagan, it is rare, very rare, that if not at all, that we even hear of an invasive species. So doing great work, and again, that Don't Move a Muscle campaign is one that's done so well for Oasis, again, the Okanagan and Similkameen Invasive Species Society. And of course, you can get involved as well. They have training through their website, social media, and of course, representatives throughout the region too. So again, this is the 78th annual Penticton Peach Festival. It is the Peters Brothers Paving Grand Parade. We're on Rogers TV. My name is Alan G. As we continue with our parade, it's a good one. I mentioned 74 entries, although I'm hoping maybe next year when it's the 79th, we maybe get 79. But I know here at Peach Festival, they want to ensure if you want to be part of the parade, they're going to do their best to fit you in. I believe up until yesterday, up until the Friday at noon, so basically less than 24 hours before the parade, they were still trying to add entries to be part of this popular event. So many big events for Peach Fest, but no doubt this is one of the most popular ones, and it's the ideal way to kick off the Peach Fest Saturday. You could probably hear in the background another band. Again, that is a big part of any parade, right? And that is the job at Peach Festival, kind of space them out a bit so you can get some music, see some parades and some parade entries and floats, and then back to the music. We have Falan Dafa, also called Falun Gong. They're a mind-body practice originating in China, and now it's practiced in 150 countries around the world based on the principles of truth, compassion, and tolerance. Easy to learn, fun to practice, and it's free. So you hear the band, then afterwards you're going to see their exercise demo team as well. Right now they're performing at the end of Winnipeg Street, and then, like I say, they'll make that last turn onto Lakeshore to continue on with our Peach Festival Parade on this beautiful Saturday. Once again, just a great crowd out here. We've got some vendors lined up along Lakeshore. So it's given lots of options for people watching the parade, but getting ready to kick into what should be a great Peach Festival Saturday, which includes not only the entertainment in Okanagan Lake Park, we have sporting events, just a jam-packed August weekend. Falan Dafa making the way again, the band here along Lakeshore in Penticton, as the crowd gives them a welcome, and we'll enjoy hearing the band as they make the turn onto Lakeshore. So as mentioned, we go from the band, hearing the members there, and then again with Philandafa, they are now doing an exercise demo team. So you can sort of see and kind of observe. Maybe it's something you'll want to practice as well. But there's the demo team as we continue with our Peach Festival Parade. A lot of times with these entries as well, whether they're playing music, doing a demo, and again, just like with Philandafa, they're right now handing out pamphlets, so it's nice to see that as well for those who want to learn more about sort of their practice and how you can get involved. That information handed out. We saw that with Many Hats Theater as well. Van Cam Freightways making the turn as well, and it's a tight turn as well. They got a big one. Looks like a big truck making the way across here, and you'll see it coming right in front of the cameras with Van Cam. They've been serving our community again a long time, since 1947. Proud to keep Penticton and the entire South Okanagan connected. Their flat deck is actually carrying one of their original delivery vehicles. How old do you think that is? You got to guess? 1947. So even then, they kept our communities stocked and moving. Now the next part of our parade, and this is my gang. So normally I get to drive that vehicle. That's Go 97.1, and we have members of the radio team. So I do the morning show. Deanna's coming in. Deanna, come over here. I don't know if we'll get Deanna into the camera at all.
Hello.
So Deanna does the afternoon show with Go. I do the morning show. So now we're co-hosting for like 1 second. Thank you, Deanna. You bet. Thank you, Deanna. They're handing out candy. We have Joe. She does the afternoon show on her other radio station, Summit Radio. Regan Babiak does the morning show, and our op Riley's there too. So got to give a shout out to my team, Go 97.1. That is the Summer Cruiser as well. Emily McDonald's School of Highland Dance. They're part of our Peach Festival Parade as well. And they got some candy they're handing out as well. As a matter of fact, I think they got like little wagons full of it too. So that's good for the kids with the bubbles too. So again, big part of Peach Festival today. As we're pretty much, we're getting close to the halfway mark. As mentioned, 74 entries. Doing the math here. Yeah, I think we're like at 36. So we're almost at the halfway point of our Penticton Peach Festival Parade. We have a few more of our directors that are here. They do such a great job, and you see them in little golf carts, essentially keep an eye on things, making sure everything's going smoothly when it comes to our parade as well. And another band coming up, but first we do have here in Penticton, Livy Lou's Hair Design. So again, always nice to have these great businesses on board. And you can see some of the hair designs as well. The colors with the kids looks like they're having a great time as they make their way onto the flatbed. And the band you hear in the background, the Vancouver Traveling Band. 1L in traveling, because they are one L of a band. That's their, I didn't make that up. Let's have a listen to the Vancouver Traveling Band. Vancouver Traveling Band, by the way, 20 years strong now. They were formed in 2005 just by some group of amateur musicians wanting to entertain, and now they not only travel BC but through the world. Here we have more of the Penticton Penchambi Sunday School. Talked a bit about how they had some of their students earlier, and now a few more as well. They've got float lined up. We have one of the representatives talking a bit about what they do. Don't even need me, right? We should have her on the mic. But they make their way through the parade as well. Penticton Seniors Drop-In Center. They do so much in our community along South Main Street. They offer so much for seniors as well. So we're going to get a chance to, they have their banner and a couple of members joining us right now. And when it comes to the city of Penticton, and I know this firsthand, but probably the best cinnamon buns in the city at the Seniors Drop-In Center. But again, they do so much for seniors in our community. I think they've added a few more pickleball courts to their facility, and of course we know how popular that sport has become now as well. We've got some more music making its way from Winnipeg Street here onto Lakeshore. With the center here in Penticton. And there you go. See, that's another big part of the Seniors Drop-In Center. It's a chance to perform, and that's what we're getting right now with a little band. There's Louise. So Louise, you're the one that runs sort of all the promotions for the Seniors Drop-In Center, right? There you go. Louise, I used to work with the radio station, so there's the camera there. There you go. So Louise from the Seniors Drop-In Center. Looks good. You guys are doing a great job. Thanks for being with us. There you go. Thanks, Louise. Good seeing you. You bet. Always nice when you see somebody you know and they can come in and talk a bit about what they do. But Louise had worked at a radio station, and now, of course, she handles everything promotion-wise with the Seniors Drop-In Center. Home Hardware, of course, they're huge supporters in our community as well. And with them, the Penticton Heat lacrosse team as well. So the kids from the Penticton Heat are on their float with Home Hardware. Minor Lacrosse Association playing both field and box lacrosse. And the teams range from under 7 up to under 18. And all the teams named Penticton Heat. By the way, their float is called Penticton Heat on Fire because their teams are on fire. Lacrosse, a big part of our community as well. And that includes the junior team, South Okanagan Flames, too. So nice to have the Penticton Heat joined by Home Hardware to be part of the Peach Festival Parade. Home Hardware is also another on their flat decks. They're actually carrying a number of out-of-town royalty and ambassadors that are joining us. You can see the waves. Again, they were here, we've got, looks like, from Oliver, their ambassador program. I think I've seen some from the States. So visiting royalty, again, they were here last night, getting a chance to be in Okanagan Lake Park for our Miss Penticton pageant. Penticton Search and Rescue joining us as well. We had emergency services at the beginning of the parade, but Penticton Search and Rescue, PENSAR, they do a lot of great work in our community, and you know, we're blessed where we live, right? You get a chance to enjoy the background that is the Okanagan, but when it comes to being in the lake and rescuing people that need help there or along a hillside, that's the incredible work that PENSAR does. So Penticton Search and Rescue are part of the parade as well. 40 dedicated volunteer members, and they respond probably to about 60 calls a year, and they are volunteers as well. They volunteer more than 11,000 hours annually. So when it comes to volunteering, that's one that can't be beat when you look at the work that they do and helping out people when they need that help. Penticton Search and Rescue. So again, they're a part of our Peach Festival Parade. By the way, you can always learn about how you can get involved and be a part of PENSAR. They're always looking for more volunteers. PENSAR.ca, PENSAR.ca, if you want to get some more information on how you can apply and be a part of that. It is the Penticton Peach Festival Parade. It is a big part of Peach Fest now. This is the 78th year. The Grand Parade is known, as mentioned, as the largest parade in the interior and one of the longest running in our province as well. So we're so happy to be able to have Rogers TV here today to allow you to be able to check out the parade and all the 74 entries here in Penticton for Peach Fest. Now making it their way from Winnipeg on to Lakeshore, Discovery House. It is a recovery center for men, and they do such great work in our community, involved with so many events, and they do allow, of course, those that have battled addiction the chance to recover. And they have this great promotion on right now called the Chopper of Hope. You can see their poster right now. You can get a raffle ticket and essentially win this brand new Harley Davidson that was custom built for our winner and custom built right here in Penticton as well. So Discovery House, they do so many great events in our community, but that's a big fundraiser right now, Chopper of Hope, and I believe that draw will be coming up later this fall. DiscoveryHouseRecovery.com to learn more. Deer Park Community Float. And again, joining us from just over the border in Deer Park, Washington. Well, look at that amazing float. I mentioned Spokane had won for the best float for city that was over 25,000. This great community in Washington won for the best float for community under 25,000. Listen to the music. It's dancing through the decades. Looking pretty groovy, looking like Woodstock. All that great music of the late 60s. They got the Beatles, Johnny Cash. That is a fantastic float. So Deer Park, Washington, to be a big part of what's going on here today. Peach Festival. The OSNS Child Youth and Development Center, another great organization here in the community of Penticton. And again, they do so many great events to help benefit children in our area that need that help. They are a non-for-profit organization, family-centered, child-focused environment. They always are evolving to ensure best practices are used with the team. And when it comes to helping out children in our area, they're always evolving as well. I've had a chance to tour the facility every couple of years, and it's just so amazing to see the innovations that are done to help out children. So the OSNS, their website to learn more, osns.org. Peach Festival Parade continues. Another great organization in the city of Penticton that services the entire area, South Okanagan Similkameen Brain Injury Society. And they're also making their way off of Winnipeg Street onto Lakeshore. And again, just like OSNS, for those in the area, anyone that's suffered any sort of traumatic brain injury, they're there to provide that help and resources needed to get through a brain trauma. So a big part of our community, the SOS Brain Injury Society. And there were a few, like I say, before the parade began, the Peach Festival Committee got together to award some of the floats and entries prizes, and the South Okanagan Similkameen Brain Injury Society. They were actually one of the late entries, but they are award winner as well when it comes to Peach Festival and the Grand Parade. There they come, of course, SOS Brain Injury Society, the great work that they do in our community. You can see their little slogan, brain injuries aren't peachy, use a helmet. And that's part of what they do as well. In addition to helping those that have gone through a brain trauma, it's all about ensuring that you're not going to suffer brain injury when it comes to safety. So it's all about prevention. That's a big part of what they do as well. Scooperdo.ca, canine waste removal. They've actually got a pretty cool little float lined up as well. Scooperdo.ca. Part of, you know, I was going to make a joke about the number 2 business, but I won't do that. That is Elena Collins. Elena is representing British Columbia. She's from Penticton. She's going to the Miss Canada pageant. So good luck to Elena. She makes her way through the parade as well. She leaves actually on Monday. So this is her kind of a last official duty before the pageant. So good luck to Elena. She was a princess with the Penticton pageant a few years ago. And then she represented Central BC at the Miss BC pageant. She won that. So good luck to Elena. She actually was one of the co-MCs last night for the Miss Penticton pageant. It was on the main stage at Okanagan Lake Park. So good luck to Elena. PentictonRollerskate.ca. Roller skating, all right? What's old is new again. Roller skating is so big in our community. They host events throughout the year for people of all ages. Very inclusive as well. So PentictonRollerskate.ca, and you can see some of the members roller skating. Which again, it's in again, right? Remember, it kind of evolved to rollerblading, but roller skates. They have lots of opportunities for people of all ages. That if you've not roller skated before, they often have get-togethers where you can get your skates for free and have a chance to be part of roller skate in the city of Penticton. CUPE is on board as well. They have a few folks joining us too. So following Penticton Roller Skate, you've got a few little ones that are part of their entry as well. So again, always good to have CUPE a part of our community and joining us for Penticton Peach Festival. And certainly love the kids that get a chance to be in the parade as well. right? Because parades are for kids. They get a chance, if they're watching, to maybe see some of the cool floats. They get a shot at getting some candy, but it's always cool to see them in the parade as well. We've got a Jeep that's all decorated as well for this event, so love to see them here as well. Penticton, we know about Comic-Con. We have our own version in Penticton, the Penticton. It is the 2-day pop culture and arts festival in Penticton. They have a trade show, they have panels, hands-on workshops, so much to check out. I love going to see some of the cool little pop culture items you can purchase, but that's now an annual event here in Penticton. So the Penticton here as well. From Poulsbo, Washington, let's enjoy the Drummers Den, their all-star drum line. Sounding amazing as always. Seattle drum line. Terry Marsh is the operator of the Drummer Den Music Studio, which is in Kitsap County in Washington. And of course, they've got a great summer youth program. Kids 10 to 18 get a chance to get involved, and that's pretty much through the entire Puget Sound area of Washington. So just love it that we have entries that make their way from the States to be a part of Peach Festival today. Suds Buds joining us right now. You can see their cool logo, detailing and tires, and they're bringing along Specsavers, who are joining us to be a part of our parade today. And here, I've got to read you this because this is kind of funny. Specsavers. If you haven't seen the Yogo Pogo and his new girlfriend, then you should have gone to Specsavers. I didn't write that. They did, locally owned and operated. Of course, you can see them in Cherry Lane. Suds Buds, of course, driving them. They're also locally owned and operated as well. So if you've seen any dirt on your vehicle, you should have gone to Suds Buds. So nice to promote some of our local businesses joining us for Peach Festival and the Grand Parade. Nor has Solutions joining us now. Also very locally involved with community events. We've got a pretty cool float as well, and also handing some information too. That's Specsavers doing so, but again, that's a pretty cool part of Peach Fest. You get a chance to learn about some of these different businesses that are featured. So Nor has Solutions joining us as well to be part of the parade. And again, it makes its way, starts along Main Street in Penticton. It kind of cuts across before the market. We come along Winnipeg Street, and then one final turn to head along Lakeshore Drive. Continues all along Lakeshore and wraps up at the iconic SS Sycamoose, another big landmark here in Penticton. ABK Restoration Services making the turn now to join us for our Peach Festival Parade. Again, ABK, like a lot of these different businesses that you see, if they're getting involved with Peach Fest, you know, of course, they're very involved in the community too, always giving back. So ABK joining us as well. I like the passenger that's in their van. I think he's liking the parade as well. Cute dog to be part of ABK Restoration Services. It is the Peach Festival Parade. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here on Rogers TV. Oh, yeah, I get my second candy. ABK coming through with my second candy. Thank you very much. So again, that's so cool too, right? Because kids love that. And I guess adults. I'm not going to say no to some free candy. This was one of our winners today, 114 Coffee Company, Cafe and Bakery. Look at that. I love their parade. I guess that's why it was winner. They actually won the President's Award. So again, local coffee company, 114. It is actually pretty cool floats. So congratulations to them. Of course, football, I guess soccer, right? I guess it is football. It's the Pinnacles FC, Pinnacles Football Club here in Penticton. And again, longtime supporters of youth soccer. And as you can see, some of the members range in age. And I think when I was a kid as well, I got a chance to get involved with soccer. I was in Summerland, but played some of the Pinnacles teams. So again, when it comes to playing soccer in the community of Penticton, Pinnacles Football Club, you can see some members right now doing some dribbling with the soccer ball, joining us too, and a huge soccer ball on the Pinnacles Football Club truck too. So again, nice to have them not only part of the community, but joining us for the Peach Festival Parade today. And we've got some young dancers, it looks like. It's the, I think it's the Soul Dance Studio, bringing rhythm, sparkles, and smiles. Now they have private classers for those dancers who want to shine from the inside out. And again, a lot of these programs begin when kids are so young, from as early as the age of 2. And it doesn't just, you know, when it comes to dancing, if you're an adult, you can get involved as well when it comes to the Soul Dance Studio. Visit their website, souldance.ca, soldance.ca. And more dancing as well, too. Emily McDonald's School of Dance joining us. They've got a pretty cool float as well. And this is School of Highland Dancing. So lots of options, too, when it comes to dancing, when it comes to Penticton. So Emily McDonald's School of Highland Dance joining us. You can see, look at their young members, all these young dancers having a good time. You guys having fun? Yeah, I think they are, too, right? They get a chance to represent the School of Dance. Hey, you know, we talked about how people are handing out candy. How cool is this? On a hot day like today, you're handing out bottles of water. I think some of our crew here at Rogers getting a chance to enjoy that. Keep cool on this hot day. Penticton Peach Festival, that is the Peach Fest float. And it does include, of course, our newly crowned Miss Penticton and her princess. That includes the new queen last night, Chanel Stain, and her princess, Maya Dodd. Congratulations to them. How cool is that? Their first official events, being Penticton royalty, is being right here at the Peach Festival Parade as well. We have more of the Miss Penticton Ambassador Program candidates involved with the pageant last night. Again, there was 5 of them, and a new showcase for them, again, to be at Okanagan Lake Park. Used to be in the Cleveland Theater, but the park certainly gets jam-packed. So congrats to all 5 of them being a part of that great program in our community. Of course, we have some retired royalty that are joining us as well. It's always great to have the alumni to be back part of the Peach Fest Parade. And for them coming back, it just shows how important and how cool this program is. It is not really about the competition. It's about the program itself and everything that the young ladies learn when it comes to the program that is Miss Penticton. Oasis United Church joining us as well. I think we're getting close to the end of our parade. What a great day it's been. But South Okanagan Smilkameen Pride and Oasis United Church. So SOS Pride Nonprofit Society. And of course, they do so many great events as well. And they're joined by Oasis United Church. And they're committed to inclusion and justice for people of all sexual orientations, gender identities, race, ethnicities, ability, that is, age, religion, it doesn't matter. So inclusive of SOS Pride. And that does include, of course, the Oasis United Church as well. Okanagan Falls, now we had the fire department beginning locally, but OK Falls was one of our late entrants, and look at this classic fire truck, 1936. So OK Falls Volunteer Fire Department, thank you for all you do. Thank you for joining us to be part of the parade as well here today in Penticton for Peach Festival. Philcan Cultural Society going by as well. Filipino-Canadian Society here in the South Okanagan. And again, mentioned some of the award winners today. Look at this float. And they were an award winner too. So I got some of the notes from the Peach Festival Committee about some of the winners. They won the Novelty Award. Nice to see them. Thanks, Hagen. Thanks for joining us, guys. Such a cool float. Congratulations to them. The Filipino-Canadian Society right here in the South Okanagan. Wow, Back to the Future, Sierra Flooring. They've been in our community for decades. Driving, it's a DeLorean, right? Look at that. How cool is that Doc in there? SierraFlooring.com is their website. Like I say, proud supporters of our community. And Sierra's been, I think, in Penticton since the 60s as we continue with our Peach Festival Parade on a pretty fine Saturday here in the Peach City. How you guys doing? Having fun? They're hidden behind the dinosaurs. This is a pretty cool float as well. There's a big dinosaur. There's a few big dinosaurs on this one as we continue with our Peach Fest Parade. Stutters Restoration's rounding the corner as well as they make their way from Winnipeg Street onto Lakeshore. And they've been helping communities recover from fire, flood, and other disasters since 1982 with 24/7 emergency service. And it just happens where we live, right? They are needed at times in Stutters Restorations since 1982. I love that they're doing the throwback to the 80s with the Rubik's Cubes. You can check them out at stutters.com to learn a little bit more about Stutters Restoration. I would do the jingle, but I'm not a great singer. But you might have that one in your head as well. Stutters Restorations. You know what I'm talking about when it comes to their little jingle. So it is our Peach Festival Parade. We are getting close to wrapping things up. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here on Rogers TV. South Okanagan Wheelhouse Society. They're a nonprofit promoting cycling, empowering cyclists to learn how to repair their own bikes. How cool is that? So nice to see them being a part of the event as well. They keep the fun and cycling in the South Okanagan area. South Okanagan Power Sweeping, they're getting close to rounding the corner. Here they come as well. They are the South Okanagan's only family-owned and operated street sweeping company. I think they've got one more street sweeper making their way around the corner as we are pretty much close to wrapping things up. I can't believe it's flown by already. Our 78th Penticton Peach Festival, 5-day event. Of course, the highlight to kick off a Saturday is our Peach Fest Parade. South Okanagan Power Sweeping coming along. And then this kind of signals the end, I would think, right? Because we know there's always construction. And you always, of course, see the flaggers, right? And sometimes they kind of are behind like vehicles if there's a closure. So that's how we wrap it up. The final entry was Central Interior Traffic Control, a flagging truck. And that does put the wraps on our Peach Festival Parade. So I hope everybody's had a good time. That is a wrap. I hope you enjoyed everything going on for the Peters Brothers Grand Parade of the Penticton Peach Festival. Had so much fun doing this for Rogers TV. I'm Alan G. That'll wrap it up. And hopefully we'll see you back here next year for Peach Festival number 79.